We are tired of being treated as less than human. This powerful plea echoed through the streets of Memphis in March 1968, where thousands of sanitation workers fought for dignity and basic rights. Martin Luther King Jr. stood at the forefront, embodying a generation demanding change. Memphis in the 1960s was marked by rampant segregation and economic disparity. The sanitation workers, predominantly African American, faced deplorable working conditions and minimal wages. They were forced to pick up garbage in unsafe, unsanitary conditions, often subjected to abuse from the very people they served. Their grievances mounted, leading them to strike for better pay and recognition of their humanity. It was a fight not just for wages, but for respect, for acknowledgement of their worth as human beings. Racial discrimination was pervasive, as the local government ignored the injustices faced by black citizens. The workers, represented by the American Federation of State, County and Municipal Employees, Local 1733, declared, "I am a man," asserting their identity against dehumanization. Their signs became symbols of resistance, cutting through the layers of oppression that had stifled their voices for too long. The strike drew national attention, spotlighting the intersection of labor rights and civil rights, a poignant reminder that the quest for equality transcended individual battles. King arrived in Memphis on March 28, 1968, compelled by solidarity with the labor movement. He understood that racial injustice was tied to economic justice. The sanitation workers' plight mirrored the broader struggles of African Americans. As he prepared to address them, city officials resisted. Yet, King pressed on, knowing the eyes of the nation were upon them. This was not merely a labor dispute, it was a pivotal moment in the civil rights movement, a chance to unite the struggles of the disenfranchised under one powerful banner. Tension escalated as King organized a march for justice. His impassioned words united diverse backgrounds in a vision of equality and dignity. The streets of Memphis became a tapestry of humanity, woven together by shared aspirations. Yet, he was acutely aware of the danger surrounding him. As clashes erupted between protesters and police, fire hoses unleashed against peaceful demonstrators, clubs swinging through the air, King remained resolute, driven by faith in nonviolent protest. The march culminated in a massive gathering where King's speech resonated, echoing the aspirations of the sanitation workers. The air was thick with hope, yet tinged with anxiety. The crowd stood, a sea of faces reflecting the determination to demand change. It was a defining moment that illuminated the connection between labor rights and civil rights. But the triumph was overshadowed by tragedy when King was assassinated on April 4, 1968, leaving the nation mourning and intensifying the urgency of the struggles he championed. In February 1968, after two colleagues were tragically killed in an accident, the anger of sanitation workers erupted. They organized a strike, demanding fair wages and dignity in their labor. Signs bore the powerful slogan, "I am a man," capturing the essence of their struggle. This simple yet profound declaration transcended the immediate demands of the workers, embodying a universal cry for recognition and equality that resonated deeply with the experiences of African Americans across the nation. It was a statement of identity, of humanity, that cut through the noise of apathy and indifference. The strike gained support from various civil rights organizations. Recognizing the importance of this battle, King understood that civil rights could not exist without labor rights. He arrived in Memphis on March 28, 1968, joined by other civil rights leaders, marching alongside them. The streets pulsed with a sense of urgency, the atmosphere electric, filled with chants and the rhythm of footsteps echoing against the pavement. Yet, the march faced violence. Clashes erupted between protesters and police, with fire hoses and clubs unleashed against the peaceful demonstrators. Still, King's message remained clear: dignity in labor was a civil rights issue, a fundamental aspect of the fight for equality. On April 3, just a day before his assassination, King delivered a powerful speech at the Mason Temple. The church's walls seemed to vibrate with the weight of history as he stood before a congregation filled with hope and determination. "We've got to stay together," he declared, echoing the spirit of unity that transcended race and class. He spoke of a beloved community, where justice would flow like waters. The crowd, filled with the weary yet resolute faces of the workers, hung on his every word, inspired by his unwavering faith in the possibility of a better tomorrow. He urged everyone to continue the fight for all marginalized people, reminding them that their struggle was a shared one, interconnected with the aspirations of every American. As he stood there, the oppressive weight of uncertainty loomed over him. He had faced death threats before, yet he pressed on, fueled by a vision too powerful to abandon. His presence lent national attention to the workers' plight, affirming that their struggle for decent wages was vital, not just for themselves, but for the soul of the nation. The air was thick with resolve, a palpable sense of purpose enveloping the gathering as King's oratory ignited a spark of courage among the workers. The passion in his voice stirred the hearts of the crowd, urging them to envision a future free from oppression and injustice. The next day, King would pay the ultimate price for his commitment. As he left the Lorraine Motel, a single gunshot rang out, silencing not just a man, but the dream of equality. Memphis became a historical flashpoint, reminding society of the lengths taken to uphold the status quo. In the aftermath, rioting erupted across cities, fueled by grief and rage. The nation collectively mourned, his loss reverberated deeply through countless communities, igniting a fierce determination to honor his legacy. Yet amid the sorrow, a renewed commitment to civil rights surged through the hearts of many. From this tragedy, a powerful narrative of resilience emerged. The sanitation strike continued, fueled by King's unwavering commitment. Thousands took to the streets, honoring his legacy and reaffirming their fight. Their perseverance led to a remarkable victory, securing better pay and improved conditions, underscoring the interconnectedness of labor rights and civil rights. The victory was not merely a win for sanitation workers but a statement that dignity could not be stripped away, that every worker deserved respect and fair treatment. The Memphis Sanitation strike and King's martyrdom became intertwined, illustrating a cause larger than any one individual. This moment illuminated the ongoing struggle for justice, revealing how labor rights echoed the civil rights movement. King's legacy lived on through those who marched, resonating across America and the world. In Memphis, King delivered a message that would resonate for generations. He understood the gravity of the moment, recognizing that the fight in Memphis represented a broader struggle for human rights. On that fateful April day, his voice, imbued with urgency, ignited hope within those yearning for change. "I am convinced that we will win this battle for dignity," he proclaimed, capturing the essence of the struggle. His words were a rallying cry, a declaration that resonated deeply within the community, inspiring countless individuals to believe that a brighter future was possible. Yet, an ominous cloud loomed. King had faced threats before but pressed on, driven by the belief that justice would prevail. His vision was clear, a day when workers could perform their jobs with dignity, free from oppression. The weight of this vision was not lost on him, as he often reflected on the legacy he wished to leave behind, one of hope and perseverance in the face of adversity. But on April 4th, tragedy struck again. The sound of gunfire shattered the night, and King fell. This act of violence sent shockwaves through the nation, igniting fierce debate over the future of the civil rights movement, marking a turning point in the fight for justice. King's assassination would serve as a catalyst, propelling the movement into new territories, as activists sought to honor his memory through continued action and advocacy. In the aftermath of his death, sorrow was matched with a determination to continue the struggle he championed. His vision did not die with him, it fueled a commitment to justice. Across America, people took to the streets, inspired to demand equality. The anger and pain felt by so many transformed into action, creating a wave of activism that swept across cities, uniting individuals from diverse backgrounds in a shared mission. The Memphis Sanitation strike became a pivotal chapter in American history, showcasing the intersection of labor rights and civil rights. King may have fallen, but his teachings and dreams fueled a movement committed to justice. The memory of his dedication to equality and human dignity became a guiding light for those who continued the fight. This legacy, rooted in hope and unyielding pursuit of justice, inspires countless individuals today, ensuring that the call for dignity and equality echoes through time. In the wake of the strike, King's sacrifice rippled through the nation, highlighting the struggle for dignity in the workplace. Workers rose to demand respect and fair wages, reflecting King's broader vision for justice encompassing racial and economic fairness. The strike revealed the harsh realities faced by those laboring for their families. They were more than sanitation workers, they were deserving of recognition, their voices amplified by the legacy of a man who believed in their worth. King's involvement elevated the strike's importance, intertwining labor rights with civil rights. His presence emphasized justice's implications, igniting a dialogue about systemic injustices. Workers began viewing their battles as part of a larger struggle, laying the groundwork for future movements. The connection between economic justice and civil rights became increasingly clear, highlighting that the fight for equity was interwoven within the fabric of American life. Today, as we navigate our struggles, labor-related or social justice, we can trace a line back to King's principles during those intense days in Memphis. Movements for fair wages and healthcare echo King's message about worker rights. His teachings remind us that the quest for justice is ongoing, and it is our responsibility to carry the torch for those who fought before us. Moreover, the racial disparities in labor markets persist today, highlighting the continuing fight for dignity. The legacy of the sanitation strike teaches us that true equality is ongoing, requiring respect for every individual. Recent strikes and protests show King's vision's relevance, emphasizing collective action's power. As we witness workers stepping forward to demand their rights, we see a reflection of the past and echo of King's call for unity and justice. Each demonstration is a testament to the Memphis sanitation strike's enduring spirit. King's legacy remains a reminder that justice is a continuous journey needing vigilance and courage. It calls for a commitment to not only remember those who stood up for their rights but to actively engage in the fight against injustice. As we reflect on history, we must consider how we live up to the standards set by King and others who fought for worker rights. The spirit of the sanitation strike is not just a memory, it calls us to action, urging us to advocate for those still struggling. It compels us to recognize the systemic inequities that persist and to stand alongside those who seek dignity and respect in their labor. Contemplating King's impact invites us to embody his message of equity in our lives. His vision included economic justice and social equity. King's teachings urge us to act and advocate for marginalized voices today. We are called to ensure that the struggles faced by workers resonate within our communities, echoing the urgency of King's message. Let us remember that his ideals are part of a larger narrative. As we move forward, may we carry the lessons from the sanitation strike and King's legacy, ensuring that the call for dignity and justice grows louder, inspiring future generations. In King's words, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. It is our duty to heed that call, to rise to the occasion, and to continue the fight for a more just society.